Hello, and welcome to Mean Street News. Mean Street News is here to provide accurate news to help citizens affect change in their local government and beyond. Being nice is overrated. It is time to be real. I mean what I say, and I say what I mean. The time to step up and step in is now. So please come join me, Katie, over on Mean Street News to discuss Ohio politics and beyond. I hope to see you there. Hello. Hello, and welcome to Main Street News. This is Katie, and if you are new here, thank you for joining us. And if you are coming back, thank you for joining. Thank you for coming back. Anyways, today we are going to discuss the Ohio 4 again. This is part 5. We've been doing a series on two murders that were committed in 1991 of Floyd Epps and Marsha Blakely. We're discussing 4 men who were wrongfully convicted and have served over 100 years for that crime. We're talking about we are in part 5 of that episode. And today we are going to be listening to the other half of the August 9th, 1991 interview of Willie Mincy. Willie Mincy was Marsha Blakely's baby dad, boyfriend as well. He was last one seen with her. As we discussed in previous episodes, he has said some statements, and he has given some answers to some questions and asked some questions that really kind of point to him as being the one that was a little more than likely responsible for both murders. He even in this first interview asked about Floyd when no one had told him about Floyd Epps being struck by a car at the time. But both victims, Marsha and Floyd Epps, were both had their throats cut in the same manner. The coroner in the case brought it up. The police believed at the time that both of these murders were related. However, no one has ever been charged with the murder of Floyd Epps, and his murder still remains unsolved. Now, both murders occurred on August 8th of 1991. As we said, the day of the murder, that the bodies were found, and of the murders, the police went to Willie Mincy's home. When they arrived, he fled. There was an argument going on. He noticed the cops were there, and he fled. They picked him up later. And even though we know that he knew that Marsha was murdered, he still acted like he didn't when he was told. He continuously asked, like, what happened to her. And I think that's because of in the violent way that she was murdered. Like, he knew. Because why would you keep asking after he said, oh, she's deceased? Like, well, what's wrong with her? What's wrong with her? Well, how would you know something's wrong with her? She's dead. I mean, what do you mean what's wrong with her? Did you know that she was, stabbed? She was stabbed 15 times by a small knife? Did you know her throat was slit? Did you know it was a gruesome murder? Is that why you're asking specifically what happened to her? Now, even though, Willie Mincy makes these damning statements in this interview coming up and the interview that he had that day and the day after, the one we're going to listen, the other half of the one we're going to listen to now. If you want to hear the first half, please go to episode 2 of Back to 1991. And I play the first half. But even though, he makes all these statements and it's really pointing towards him. Last person with her, they were arguing. She told him not to come down to the house. He went down to the house anyways, and all of a sudden she disappeared. He mentions the station wagon in the first one. In the second interview, the first half of the second interview with him on 8/9, which is the day after she was discovered and the day she and Floyd Epps were murdered. He admits that the wagon, station wagon, never existed when Taliano confronts him. In this interview, though, in the beginning of the interview, I do want to go over a couple of things that he says in the beginning of this interview that we didn't discuss previously. Well, we did discuss, but that we brought up previously. That's important before we listen to the second half. So first thing I thought was really weird is that Detective Taliano, he basically goes over with Willie Mincy, like what he said to him the day before, like reminding him of it, like, oh, you told us this, you told us that, you told us that. Usually that's not normal. It's not a normal thing. That doesn't usually happen. He also, at the 4:41 minute mark, he says that Willie Mincy says that Marsha used to carry a little knife too when she did her dirt. Detective Taliano follows up by asking what kind of knife, and Willie Mincy states, oh, a knife like this, and shows Detective Taliano a knife. Now, at the time, wouldn't you think you'd be like, well, give me that one that you have to look for any kind of like evidence to rule, this guy out? No, he doesn't. He doesn't care. He's like, oh, a knife like that. And then he says, where does she keep the knife? And then Willie Mincy responds, it was in her purse. Not, oh, she usually keeps it in her purse. No, he says it was in her purse. And then Detective Taliano says, oh, this purse? And he goes, oh, no, not that purse. She has 200 purses. The woman that, doesn't have 2 nickels to rub together has drug addict has 100 purses, not that one that you're pointing at. Now, Detective Taliano never had this purse fingerprinted. He never he did put it into evidence. He did put it into evidence. However, the purse at trial ended up coming up missing, and then he makes some excuse like, oh, we gave it to the family, but it was evidence. And you never got it tested, never got it tested for blood, never got it tested for fingerprints, nothing, which is really weird. Then he said at the beginning of this interview, before we listen to the other half of it, he says, how much was she into these people for? And Willie Mincy responds, he doesn't think she was into it, then states the way somebody ran her over with a car. I mean, I don't think it don't make no sense. It just doesn't make sense. Mincy basically saying someone wouldn't kill Marsha the way they did over some dope. So the whole story Taliano's trying to, put together, saying, this girl, was a drug addict and stole somebody's dope and got killed over it. Even Willie Mincy knows. Yeah, no one's killing her over some dope. It's just not a thing. So then at the 11-minute mark, right before the tape cuts off, he says, you actually never saw her. You don't know, and this is Taliano to Mincy, you don't know if she was in that car. You didn't actually see her in that car. And Willie Mincy agrees. So Willie's admitting that he made up the station wagon story. Now, on our last episode, we heard from Shakim. I went over these, the best, not the best, it's probably a bad way to say it, but the most important quotes. And he's never heard these tapes before. He didn't even know what was in them. you guys actually heard it before he did. So, the parts that he's quiet in our interview, I think he's soaking in what he's hearing. Because I even asked him that day, I said, if do you think if a jury would have heard these tapes, do you think they would have convicted you of murder? And he said no. And then before we get to the tapes, I'm gonna play what he has to say to Tony Silva, because this is the whole point of me going over these tapes with you and these interviews with you and investigating this, is so we're doing something that our current Lorain County prosecutor isn't doing, refuses to do, and actually investigating this. And at the end of this, our request is going to be for him to put in a motion for a new trial, like the former prosecutor J.D. Tomlinson did before he left office. That Tony Sillo, our prosecutor now, Tony Sillo, this guy, Tony Sillo, the first thing he did in office was rescind that motion for a new trial, and really doesn't care if these people are innocent or not. Now, Shakim was part of a drug operation that was involved in the Iran-Contra debacle. He was number 5 of 27 people that were convicted for drug operation that was related to the Iran-Contra situation. He served time in South Carolina before being sent up here to serve his time for the murder of Marsha Blakely. And again, Floyd Epps' murder is still open, but this was his message to our county prosecutor. And I want to share that with you before we move on.
Still follows me on Main Street News, the Lorain County prosecutor that revoked the new motion for a trial. After just listening to these clips, is there anything that you would like to say to him and the citizens of Lorain County that should demand justice for Marsha Blakely?
I'm saying, definitely that the truth is going to come out. And I've been sitting in prison for all these years, and the truth is going to come out. They're going to see that we actually innocent. We had nothing to do with it. We did not kill Marsha Blakely. We did not kill Floyd Epps. And Tony Sillo, man, you're going to be exposed, man. And same way you got me sitting in jail, your turn going to come.
Yeah.
And when my turn comes, when I get out, I'm not selling for nothing. You gonna pay like you weigh, man. But I done lost. I took a lot of losses. I lost my mother. You know what I'm saying? I lost my whole family, basically. I've been in jail for 32 years now. So, you're going to pay like you weigh, man. So,
it comes back around. And I think that's why what's happening now. I'm really, and I just want to apologize to you just as a citizen of county. I mean, I was 3 when all this happened. You know what I mean? But just as somebody that's, graduated from Avon Lake, I lived in Lorain for 16 years. I raised my kids in Lorain. I just want to apologize for our officials, because you just got caught up in something that, whatever. I mean, whatever you were doing, that was illegal activity. There were other people doing it, but you did not deserve to lose, and your family didn't deserve to lose you guys.
That's crazy, because it's like, I got 2 sons. I got my oldest son from Lorain, and our relationship is like messed up now because I've been gone. He's going on 30. He turned 35. I've been going 32 years of his life. 32 and a half years.
Well, so and I'm hoping we can create enough pressure so you can maybe be back in it. You know what I mean? There's no making this right. There's no righting this wrong, except to, actually have a conscience. And, Tony Sillo cares about his legacy in this county. I wouldn't want my legacy to be, I covered for my best friend, John Rosenbaum, and did not look into 4 innocent, a case that is clear as day. You guys had nothing to do with this crime. It's clear as day that there was a problem with corruption in Lorain.
And this another thing too. everybody keep forgetting about Floyd Epps. He was a victim also. Everybody keep forgetting that his family won justice also. So it ain't just about Marsha Blakely. Yeah, it's not just about Marsha Blakely. First of all, you got the wrong guys in prison.
Yep.
Right. So you want her to rest in peace. You want justice for.
You have 1 minute remaining.
You want justice for Floyd Epps' family as well.
Absolutely, especially because he was a good person too. Like, he might have had an alcohol issue. He let people say this. How he was a good. I did a lot of research. And he was a good person.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I can see him. I tell you, from the Dell Farms. Yeah, I appreciate everything that you do for me also too, Katie. I appreciate your show and everything. You look into the case and everything, fighting for justice.
I don't do this because this is the first murder investigation I ever looked into, and I think it's God working divinely through me. I don't think it's me. You know what I mean? I think this is. I'm very big on truth. I think this is the truth.
Yeah,
I think God was the right person.
It's getting ready to hang up. Yeah, the phone's getting ready to hang up. But I thank you very much. But anytime you need me, just send word and I'll call back. Okay?
Absolutely, Shakim.
And, everybody is like, what was the purpose of, why did they go after these guys? You know what I mean? Why were these guys the target? And I think it's due to their job. I've talked to a couple of people, and I think it's because they didn't pay somebody. Because, honestly, it doesn't make any sense. And it makes more sense that, somebody wasn't paid, especially when the lead detective of this case is saying this to Gwen Mincy.
Because these people have this master plan in their mind, what they want to do down there, about controlling it with drugs and guns and taking over, get rid of the locals. Right, one person. Because these people have this master plan in their mind, what they want to do down there, about controlling it with drugs and guns and taking over, get rid of the locals. Right. So these people have this master plan in their mind, what they want to do down there, about controlling it with drugs and guns and taking over, get rid of the locals. Right. So the thing is, if you have this master plan in their mind, what they want to do down there, about controlling it with drugs and guns and taking over, get rid of the locals. Right. So the thing is, a few years ago, the boys from Detroit tried that. We got rid of them. Right. Now the guys from New York, Queens move in. Now we just got to get rid of them. Every time somebody local in Detroit tried that.
So the lead detective's plan was, let's use this to get rid of them. Even though this Willie Mincy, who was the boyfriend, this woman was violently murdered. Usually it's the spouse or boyfriend when it's like a violent act like that. Even though that is a thing, let's not look at him. Let's now try to make this about the New York boys. And that's what he did. I mean, he literally went from interviewing Willie Mincy, Gwen Mincy, Herbert Wallace's, who's another one we're going to listen to tonight, interview. He went from those to Delphine Geis, who was dating Lenworth, one of the New York boys at the time, but they don't even say how they even got to A to B to C. They don't. It makes no sense unless they just wanted the narrative to be, let's get rid of the drug competition, because really that's what it is at this point, and that's wrong, completely wrong. So let's start with Willie Mincy. The day after Marsha Blakely and Floyd Epps are found, Willie Mincy's other half of the recording that was not that got cut off by accident, that Lorain police were nice enough to go back and get open for me. Give me 1 second. Let me pull these up. I didn't open them yet. So we ended that recording with, Taliano saying, you were the last one. Oh, sorry. It's not the best quality recording just because I had to, the one I got, I could barely hear. So I had to enhance it. But I'm going to play you the last 2 minutes of the one that got cut off, and then we're going to go right into the new one. Okay. Give me 2 seconds. And then we're going to listen to Herbert Wallace's. And I'm going to stop and comment throughout like I did the last time. Am I picking the right one? I hate when I do this. Hold on. Willie Mincy. Yeah, okay, it's this one. Oh, no, I didn't share my audio. Just hold on. I hate when I do this. If I don't share my audio, you guys can't hear it, you know. Do window. Willie Mincy. Share system audio. Share. All right. Got it. All right, let's hit play. Why did it do that? No. Hold on. This can never just be easy for me. Willie Mincy. Well, it's not a Chrome tab. Willie Mincy, right here. Shares some audio. Share. All right. All right. I gotta hit play. So how do I hit?
She walked away from the house, the mother's house, right? Until you got to the country, you saw this car pull up. You never actually saw, you don't know that she was in that car. You never actually saw her after she walked away from the house, the mother's house, right? Okay, so let's get back to the point. The point is, who would want to kill her? I don't know. I don't even know. Well, that's probably have trouble believing. Nobody knew her better than you. If she's your girlfriend and nobody knew her better than you, then who else would she tell, or who would you would be the person she'd want to tell if she was having a problem with somebody? Marsha didn't tell me a lot of things. She was telling me a lot. You had 3 kids together. You should have had 2 kids. She must have told you so. Yeah, she's like Joe Smith over here said he's gonna kill me because I messed up with dope there. I messed up the stuff he's gonna do me. Or I'm messing around with these guys right here, these guys or wherever, you know, whoever. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure she had to tell you something. And she wouldn't tell me stuff like that, but you know I've been fussing. You know I've been mad. Very mad. Well, you knew she smoked dope, right? And you know she boosted stuff to support her habit, right? Yeah. Turn tricks? Probably, I learned myself. Okay, so if you knew that, you probably knew you knew it. So you know she smokes crack, steals, and prostitutes herself. And now you're telling me, but she wouldn't tell you who was after because she figured you might be mad at her? Yeah, she'd tell me. Little things like that. Not gonna tell me. She'd tell me. And motherfucker that, you didn't run up on me, they just give it to you. Well, who was the motherfucker they were talking about? I guess the people she was dealing with. Okay, so who was that? Who was she buying her shit from? That's what it sounded like. Well, you know what? If there's anybody in there, you get the letter addressed to them, those people over the project, they got a minute. Yeah, okay, that's it. That, what I was telling you about the people next door? Mm-hmm. Okay. Floyd? Yeah. Okay, now. Are they right next to him or are they across the street? Right next to him, Okay. Okay, now the people she was telling me, when she was talking to me, she said, conversation, she said, yeah, I just heard about, I mean, I hear these guys sitting right in the talking about, we can't be living around here, practically much stuff. And I'm gonna tell you, she said George McCall. There's one name was George McCall come around there buying his dope off of. She was telling me this, because I ain't too real on that stuff, be going on that stuff. But she was telling me George McCall would come around there. And one time she told me he'd come around there with
with some money and it's got sack of dope. And he put out sack of dope. And then George Paul took off, but he said he didn't have enough money or something. And he come back. That's what she told me. But she did give me one name, George Paul, that, you know. He opened George Paul.
The thing is, we're wondering if she switched on.
I'm gonna switch just to this other recording. It's a little louder. Give me 1 second. Actually, you can hear that one pretty. If it gets lower, I'll switch it.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. That was all mentioned too. That's not mentioned too. She told me that.
See, I knew it was gonna get low. Hold on. I gotta switch it. Let's see. But like you said, you know, hold on. Now he's mentioning, he mentioned the day before, you know, he mentioned the day before the neighbors next door said they were tied to the New York guy somehow. He also mentioned some Cuban people. He's mentioned this other guy Glenn guy that got evicted. Now he's mentioning this Joy McCall that she used to buy drugs off of. I mean, his story is all over the place.
When she talked to me, she said, conversation, she said, yeah, I just heard about, I mean, I hear these guys sitting right in the talking about, we can't put out sacrifice. And then George Paul took off, but she said he didn't have enough money or something. And he come back. That's what she told me. But she did give me one name, George Paul, that, you know. He opened George Paul.
The thing is, we're wondering if she switched on something. Get the switch jacket out there, I think she's policeman.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. That was all mentioned too. That's not mentioned too. She told me that. This girl named Twyla, stay in the circle. She told me that her brother said those two. His name was Tomac. Tomac. She told me that she was buying some dope. She was going to buy some dope from him one time. His sister told him not to. His sister told him not to sell it them because she was always was wrong. You know, he tell me stuff like that.
Was she ever buying dope off his brother?
Yeah. She didn't brought me dope with me around.
Why would you think she bought dope off him? Father told him to come back and sell it.
She told me she tried it. No, she told me she tried it.
Tried to get her buying it now. Well, who was she buying dope from? She did it every day. And she bought dope every weekend. So what did she buy?
There's all kinds of people over there.
Let's start with the one you know.
Okay. Went to Tomac. George McCall. I don't know. Yeah, there's all kinds of people over there.
Yeah, we know that. Who she buying the dope from? I'm sure she didn't keep that secret. She did everything else about it, right? I don't know who she hooked up with.
Did you catch that? He said, where was she buying your dope from? Trying to implicate, you know, we know that you're a drug addict as well. And, you know, he's given him two names, George McCall and this Tomac. And he mentions, I want to real quick, Tawanda is the same girl that Gwen Mincy mentions a week later. Well, not a week, 6 days later. 15-year-old girl, by the way, but mentions her knowing the New York boys. And that's how she was going to get the New York guys' names, even though she had said Shakim's name, not even realizing he's one of the New York boys. Oh, sorry. So I found that interesting. And I guess Marsha used to buy dope off of Tawanda's brother, Tomac. Okay.
I mean, I know people that sell drugs too. You had questions, too? Especially guys in Detroit.
When he says, do you have a question for him? He's talking to Rich Resendez, who's in the room. This is probably one of the first times you actually hear Rich talking.
What were they saying? Okay. Officers, what? One guy. Officers, right? They thought his job. She said the guy got evicted. She said the guy got evicted. I never know. My sister was been over there plenty of times with her while she was smoking stuff. You know, I just tried to stay away from these guys. That's what she was telling me. She said, well, no, my sister told me no. He told me. My sister told me. What kind of card you got? They got. I don't know. I don't hang over on the side. That's what I'm saying. I mean, I just don't mess around. You know what I'm saying? I don't mess with those people. I don't even know. I wouldn't mind it. You know, because because everybody knows everybody's business. Mm-hmm. When they involved with drugs, everybody's going to know everybody's business. That's what we're saying. But everybody includes you, and everybody else. I'm not even that drug thing over there. Like, where do you buy your drugs? Huh? Where do you buy your drugs? If you don't buy them over there. Well, it's not a company over there. Where do you buy your drugs if you don't buy your drugs? Well, everybody knows. We've been talking about two dozen people. And every time your name comes up, the two of you were doing the same thing together. Well, not exactly a news flash. And I mean, we're not here to pop you because you got.
It's funny, you know what he just said? He said, "Oh, we've talked to 24 people, and all those people said that you and her used to, party together." And he was the last one seeing all these people. Taliana were telling you they were always together. He knows her best, but you didn't think to be like, huh?
Gotta have it. We're trying to solve a murder, two murders. Okay, so now let's get back to business. News flash. And I mean, we're not here to pop you because you gotta have it. We're trying to solve a murder, two murders. Okay, so now let's get back to business and put goofing around. Okay? That's it. Let's get goofing around here, but we're like two boxes or you're sparring. You want to know what I got and I'm trying to find out what you got. Why don't we just get to the truth? Because the longer you wait, the longer somebody got a chance to get the heck out of here or cover the track or destroy everything. I told you yesterday, you need to know. You're and a lot of other people. Otherwise, these people are going to walk.
Did you just hear that? He said, "Oh, like I told you yesterday, you're going to help a lot of other people, or these people are going to walk." What'd you tell him, Resendez? I'm pretty sure that was Resendez that said that. Like I told you yesterday, Why would you tell him yesterday about people that he could, help them by telling them about these people? This is the day after her murder, when clearly the last person with her was the guy you're talking to right now, who has a story, has 7 different stories, who can't keep shit together, who clearly is implicated. Took her purse. I mean, we can go on.
Who would kill 2 people? One was your girlfriend, your help. Your help and a lot of others. Otherwise, these people are going to walk. Or destroy everything. I told you yesterday, we need your help. Your help and a lot of others. Otherwise, these people are going to walk. You can who would kill 2 people? One was your girlfriend. So why don't we help each other and do 2 business? Boy, they never hurt nobody. If I can tell you, Marsha, when it's still somebody Twinkies out of the store, she never hurt anybody. She only hurt herself. These 2 people just got wasted. I don't mean they didn't get hit. All right, bro, you're dead. I mean, these people were tortured. So let's do it, these guys, you get them and get it over with. Before they do it to somebody else. Maybe you. Worries about your safety this morning.
These guys might hurt somebody else, maybe even you. Maybe even you.
Well, let's not talk about that. Let's talk about how we do these people, who they are. We get it this morning. Well, let's not talk about that. Let's talk about how we do these people, who they are. We get it, you don't even get it. You tell me you know who did it? Yeah. Are you telling us that you know who did it? No, you know who did Martha and Floyd? You know who did it? No. I mean, the way I'm telling, you know what I'm saying? The people, what she was telling the people next door, Well, the thing is, the people next door didn't offer and Floyd. But they no fun. I'm not in the fun. They got in the fun. Well, we have to know something before we go over there. We're going to tell them they don't know anything, and I can't call them away. Okay, here's the back. Here's what I don't know. Your names. Chat. Yeah, no. Why do you keep coming back to the people next door to Floyd? Because of what she told me. That's the only thing I can go on. The only thing that she told you was that when Bert McCall was over there, he told me that people next door had some relatives out of New York that were supposed to bring stuff in. And they made the comment that she was a crackhead, and that they have to be careful of her. Did she rip them up? I don't think so. Did she rip anybody off? Rip them dope? You don't know, or you don't want to tell them? I'm being honest, I guess I don't know. All right, Well, the way I feel about it, no human being can have to facilitate something. Especially right. Right now, that they're going to get away with it.
Further act though about it. No human being can have to put through their footprint. Especially right. See right now that they're gonna get away with it. Nobody wants to come forward yet. See right now, no human being can have to put through their footprint. Especially right. See right now that they're gonna get away with it. Nobody wants to come forward yet. That's what's what.
Back there, I don't think it last night.
Okay, anything else? Well, 1,500 hours. 8,991. Approved the interview. That's the attendant in Italiano. Change your mind. Better let us know. Not trying to shoot somebody up, you're gonna go to jail.
Who's he speaking to? You said, you was talking, you said she went up to the apartments.
Well, you gotta know. That's the information. You'll get it out. Okay.
He said, I wanted to know who was that person that you said that they saw her coming into the apartments, which I'm thinking they're meaning Mary Jane Gonzalez's apartments. And he said, I can't tell you that information, it's secret. But then yesterday you told him you talked to Mary Jane Gonzalez and about the car's muffler, and then all of a sudden the car's muffler's fixed. Very, very weird. And that's the end of that interview. The next one we're going to go to this is the new one, Herbert Wallace. Herbert Wallace was, hold on, sorry, I'm opening something while I'm reading this to you. Herbert Wallace was with Willie Mincy the night of Marsha Blakely's murder. Apparently, he was out and about looking for them. He had gotten released from jail that night for getting into an altercation with Willie's sister. And after he was released, sometime after midnight, he was looking for Gwen. And apparently, sometime after 3 a.m., him and Willie Mincy linked up. He was married at the time. However, Gwen Mincy was his side piece. And I'm going to play. And we're going to play that interview and see what Herbert Wallace had to say. Like I said, he was Gwen Mincy, Willie Mincy's sister's friend. He had just been released from jail that night after getting into an altercation with Gwen Mincy, apparently. So let's see what Herbert Wallace has to say. And I don't want that Chrome tab. I want this one. Do this. Herbert Wallace, share my audio, share.
That you understand what they are, because we don't know.
Oh no. No, I'm good.
That you understand what they are, because we don't know what you're going to say, and this way everybody's
okay.
But we're not even actually required to do that, because you're not a suspect.
Yeah.
You're here
no, I just volunteered because I want to see if I can help him any way I can.
Yeah. Well, that's good. But just so that we can go through the formality of it, anyhow. It's Detective Resendez. My name's Taliano.
Yeah.
And it's August 9th, 91 at 1,500 hours. Okay. And what we'd like to do is talk to you about the murders of Epps and Blakely that happened within the last 2 days. In front of you have the advisement of your constitutional rights, which basically says if you have the right to remain silent, and anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to have an attorney present, and if you can't afford to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed before any questioning if you wish. And of course, you can decide at any time to exercise your rights and not answer any statements. Basically, we'd like to talk to you about that and see what any information you might have. Anything can help. Okay, would you like to talk to us?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, our witnesses, Detective Italiano and Detective Senders. Okay, hey Herb, I tell you what, we're talking to as many people as we can about what happened to with Epps and Blakely, and Floyd, Marsha. I knew a lot of people out there.
I knew them both real good.
Right. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to figure out, first of all, so when was the last time you saw either one of them?
Okay, now Marsha, I saw possibly Wednesday early in the afternoon, real early, about in the afternoon, between 12:31, 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Can you tell me where you saw her?
She had went by Pole Avenue. She crossed 23rd Street where Willie's mother lived, and went by Charleston School.
Okay, it's about 23.
Yeah, she was in a little car with a white girl and a little kid.
You know who the girl was?
No, but it was a friend of hers because she had been down to Floyd's before. I saw her pick her up before. It's in a little gray car, little gray small car.
Okay.
And she just waited as she went by.
Yeah, is that the last person?
That's the last time I saw her. Yeah.
How about Floyd?
I hadn't seen Floyd for a couple of days. I usually see him standing on the corner down by a convenience drinking wine.
But you didn't see
I haven't seen him in a few days.
You didn't see him either Wednesday evening or
no, I didn't see him
morning?
at all.
Okay. When was the last time you were over at Floyd's house?
The night that I saw Willie, that was Wednesday. Well, actually Thursday morning, early, because I got arrested Wednesday night. Me and Willie's sister got into an argument.
Gwen?
Yeah, that's my girlfriend. We had no problems. But anyway, about 8:30 that evening, I got arrested with me and her arguing.
On Wednesday evening?
Yeah. And I got out of jail, I don't know, 11:30, 12 o'clock or something. I was in holding. I got on a bond. So I had the bondsman drop me off. About Gwen's house. It was
on 23rd.
Yeah,
yeah. Okay.
Because I was looking for her to see if we could talk and iron our problems out. So I didn't see her. I walked around, and I went home. I walked over to Grenoble Drive, and I went home about. I guess I went home maybe about 1 o'clock, 12:30, 1 o'clock, and then I sat over there for a little bit, and I decided to walk back. And at 2 o'clock, I asked Willie's ex-wife, Vanessa Mincy, would she give me a ride home? I said, I just got out of jail. I need a ride home.
Okay, wait a minute. Maybe I got lost.
You
got arrested at 8:30. You got out
around 8:30.
Yeah, you got out of jail about maybe midnight.
Yeah, close to it. So somewhere like.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. And you went over to 1609 23rd Street.
I didn't go to the house though. I just walked around. I didn't go in the house.
What in the area? I was looking for Gwen.
Yeah, because I wanted to talk to her.
Okay, but you didn't talk.
To cut a long story short, what happened is I went home, but I decided to leave. All right, after Vanessa, she rode me home at 2 o'clock. Willie's ex-wife. I stopped by her house and asked for a ride home because I got tired of walking around looking for Gwen. So I went to Vanessa's house at 2 o'clock in the morning because she remembers the time. We were talking about that today.
So you didn't go home after you left? When you walked by Gwen's house, you went home? Or
no, I just walked around. Then I went home.
Went home. Yeah. Then after you left home,
I came back. I decided to run back over by Gwen's house.
But okay, all right. Now I got you.
Okay, so I didn't see her. So I asked Vanessa, would she give me a ride home? I went back home.
Where's Vanessa live?
That's his ex-wife. She lives on, it's on Lorain Drive, but it's right there on 58, one of the corner houses. He knows the exact address.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know that. It's right across from the bingo hall. Right across from the bingo hall.
Vanessa?
Yeah.
Mincy?
Yeah. That's his wife, so.
Yeah, excellent.
So anyway, she took me on to 2 o'clock. I sat and I left close to 3 o'clock, walked back from Tower Boulevard. Now, this is where I ran, during this time I ran into Willie. At 3 o'clock, I saw Willie's sister, Gwen, in a van, in a minivan, a blue minivan.
Where
at 7-Eleven. Okay, that's what I was just telling her. At 7-Eleven, she was getting out of a blue minivan with this dude. He works at Ford named Jerry. I talked to Gwen about this today, and I said, "That's Gwen." I knew that was her, right? So I walked down.
So it's about 3 o'clock.
Yeah, it's about 3 o'clock in the morning.
7-Eleven.
Yeah, and I followed. Well, I saw the van when it turned down 23rd Street. So I said, Gwen must be going down to Floyd's house because see, we knew Marsha stayed down there.
Mm-hmm.
See, and I figured Willie would be down there too. Okay, so I followed the van down.
On foot.
Yeah, I walked. I
understand.
Okay, so I got down there. It was some young guy was standing outside there.
To Floyd's house.
Yeah, at Floyd's house. Yeah, it's just somebody to live in the area, I guess.
No, I know what you're saying.
But he said, because he heard I went to jail, I guess. He said, Herbert, he said, I just saw Willie and your lady, right? I said, who, Gwen? And I said, that's what I'm looking for. So he said that they had left, and he said they would be back in a little bit. Now this is between 3 and 3:30.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I sat there and I waited and waited. And the reason why I can tell you the time, because I noticed it was a police cruiser up by a convenience store.
Mm-hmm.
It was parked up there. And I was just thinking it's probably there waiting in case somebody do something over the projects or something, or somebody breaking the store.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I walked around, I looked for them, I couldn't find them. So I went home again. And I stayed home about 20 minutes.
So about 3:30, you wound up at Floyd's house. How long did you wait in the area?
I just walked around. I went down to her house. I walked. I said, well, because the guy said they walked.
And then you went down.
I went over by Reeves because they said that Willie and Gwen were walking over toward Reeves Avenue.
Willie
and his sister.
And your sister.
Yeah, because she got out of the van. See, the guy said that Gwen got out of the blue van, and her and Willie walked somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and he said over by the project. So I figured he was going over there. So I walked around over there. And I
got ejected.
Yeah, I didn't go in the project. I went to Dale Farms, and I walked down 21st Street to Pole, circle by our house to see if he was there, because they said he was on a bicycle. He was pushing a bike, and Gwen was walking.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I went by our house, and I didn't see him. I wouldn't knock on the door because I figured her mother might be mad at me because of me and Gwen get into it.
Mm-hmm.
So I finally went back home, but
I
always do this. But I came right back about 20 after 4 because I figured, I said, well, Gwen and Willie are going to be together, and they're going to probably be down there with Marsha at Floyd's house.
So you went back.
So this time I went to Floyd's house, and I knocked on the door because I saw the bike there, and Willie was looking for Marsha. He had been looking for Marsha, so he was there. I said, "What you doing?" I said, "Man, I was looking for you." And I said, "Didn't Gwen get out of a van?" And he told me. He says, "Yeah." And I said, "Because somebody told me that you guys had left." I said, "I was looking for you." So that's what I was saying. During that time, that's when I saw Willie about 20 after 4.
Mm-hmm.
And me and him sat outside on a little couch. We sat out there because he said, "Man, I didn't see Marsha, man. He want to know where she was." I don't know, man. Marsha could be with anybody because he knows how she was.
Mm-hmm.
She'd go off and be with anybody behind, doing dope and stuff. So anyway,
who was at Floyd's house besides you and Willie?
As far as I know, nobody. And
were you outside or inside?
Yeah, I knocked on the door, and then he came outside. The door was open though, because he said he just got there. He said he was driving around looking for her. So I said, "Well, where's Gwen?" Because I thought she was in there. He said she wasn't there. So he left with me. We sat outside, and then me and him walked around talking because I was depressed about his sister Gwen. And we stayed out there talking, riding around talking. We walked back and forth down by his house and over by that school, Charleston School. And we was talking about me and Gwen getting into it and how much I care for her and all that. And then.
Now, did you catch that? So he, close to 3 a.m. saw Gwen in some blue car, okay? And the dude sitting outside of Floyd Epps' house, it'd be Leonard Walker, more than likely, said, he was just here. He just left with Gwen. Then he couldn't find him. Then around 3:30 a.m. Then around 4:20 a.m., he comes back and Willie's there and he's inside her house at that point. Willie told the detectives that he was never inside of the house, that he stayed outside. And Marsha was never with them. Now, Marsha's time of death is sometime after 3 a.m. Mm. And Mincy was nowhere to be found.
He stayed out there with me till daylight. And then when he finally went home, I asked him, I said, well, is Gwen home? He says, yeah, she should be home, man. You know, I said, will you do me a favor? Go ask her, will she come over to my house and talk to me this morning? So he went in and it was early, like about 7 something, 8. And he came back out and said, she said when she wake up, she'll come over to your house. And then
what'd you do?
I walked home. And then a couple hours later, though, about 9:30 maybe, his mother brought him over to my house because he was worried about me being depressed. And that's when we found out that Marsha got killed because Gwen came over.
Did you take any pills?
Who?
You.
Did I take any? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they were some muscle relaxers.
Now listen to what he says. You ready? Listen to what he said before the muscle relaxer thing. Listen to what he said. He said, we learned Marsha was killed. Listen.
You do.
I walked home. And then a couple hours later, though, about 9:30 maybe, his mother brought him over to my house because he was worried about me being depressed. And that's when we found out that Marsha got killed because Gwen came over.
Did you take any pills?
That's when we found out Marsha got killed because Gwen came over. But Willie Mincy said he didn't know Marsha was dead. He didn't know nothing about it. When the cops showed up at his house later that morning to come and speak to him, he fled. Everybody's arguing. I wonder what they're arguing about. Oh, you were last one seen with Marsha. We saw you fighting with her last night. You don't think his family was questioning him? You don't think he got upset, started losing his shit because he knows in a rage he killed her? And then when he sees the police, he thinks the police are arresting him. And he flees. That makes more sense, doesn't it? Allegedly. Allegedly.
Who?
You.
Did I take any? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they were some muscle relaxers.
Yeah. What did you do with the rest of them?
I gave them to him to throw away for me because I said, look, man, I said, you came over and you know I was depressed and I was talking about killing myself. And I said, I'm glad you came, man. You know, we talked a little bit. And I said, tell you what, here, do me a favor. Throw these away for me. And
where was that
at my house. At my house. So anyway, then about a half an hour later, his mother, Gwen and his ex-wife, they came over in the car. And I thought Gwen was coming over to talk to me about me and her relationship because she was crying. And she called me in the kitchen and says, they found Marsha dead. Would I come back with them to the house? So
who's Marsha dealing with drugs with?
Everybody. It's just see, because she was crying in my house. So anyway, then about a half an hour later, his mother, Gwen and his ex-wife, they came over in the car.
Well, now Herbert's story's changed a little bit. Because at first it was Willie and his mother came over, then Gwen showed up later and, told us Marsha was dead. Now it's Willie was with his ex-wife. And showed up. Gwen showed up and then told us about Marsha. But regardless, he knew about Marsha. We'll say that. And motherfucker, actually, you didn't know. He knew.
And I thought Gwen was coming over to talk to me about it at my house. At my house. So anyway, then about a half an hour later, his mother, Gwen and his ex-wife, they came over in the car. And I thought Gwen was coming over to talk to me about me and her relationship because she was crying. And she called me in the kitchen and says, they found Marsha dead. Would I come back with them to the house? So
who's Marsha dealing with drugs with?
Everybody. It's just see, that's the problem. Marsha and Gwen are basically.
So when they find out that she's dead, he goes back to the house with all of them, with Gwen, Willie, Vanessa, whatever the hell her name is, the ex-wife, and Willie. And then, when the cops show up, an hour or so later, they're all fighting. I wonder why. Wonder why. I bet somebody said you were with her last night, 2 a.m. You got your bike, followed her down. You two were fighting. You were arguing. What did you do, Willie? What'd you do?
Basically, same type women. Like me and Willie, we're real close. And that's his sister, Gwen. Everybody. It's just see, that's the problem. Marsha and Gwen are basically the same type women. Like me and Willie, we're real close. And that's his sister, Gwen, the one I go with. And we knew that they were out in the street doing dope with anybody. See, they would do it with anybody. And that's the problem that me and him had to deal with in that relationship. So that's why we had a pretty good comradeship there as friends too. Because he knew what I was going through. I knew what he was going through. You know, he loved Marsha and I loved Gwen. Even though I am married, believe it or not. But I've been going with Gwen for like about 4 years.
You're married now?
Yeah, I'm still married.
You live with your wife?
Yeah.
On Grenoble Drive?
Yeah.
But you got a girlfriend.
Well, it's not.
Your wife know about your girlfriend?
Gwen told her about it. I mean, but see, the thing about it, it's not like having a girlfriend because Gwen does what she wants. See, I'm just involved with her and I care for her. You know, so she does what she wants.
Your wife says that's okay?
Oh, no. It's been problems. I mean, see, right now, my wife don't even know I still see Gwen, to be honest with you.
She what?
My wife don't know I still see Gwen.
Oh, okay. See, well, let's get, I don't want, that's your person.
But anyway, that's the top thing Willie had about behind Marsha being that type of person. She could be with anybody and he would not know about it.
Did you ever talk to Marsha about it?
Oh, yeah. I was close to that whole family. I knew Teddy, her mother.
Now, I wonder why they were talking about that and, you know, that she would be with anybody, because it's funny that Charlton said that, you know, I had her turn a trick with this guy, white boy Jeff, to get some crack. And then all of a sudden, Willie Mincy sees her about, 12 o'clock. He would see her coming out of white boy Jeff's house. Oh, maybe he was upset that night about that, which is why they started fighting. White boy Jeff, who saw a car trailing her, and starting to fit. Puzzle pieces are starting to fit here. Starting to make sense. Then you were all upset about, her being, the same as her sister or whatever, sleeping around. She'd sleep with anybody, and maybe that's what they were talking about. Maybe that's why he was so upset that night with her.
Yeah, I knew the whole
Well, when you and Marsha talked, did she ever say that she owed anybody any money?
No, but the understanding is, because you hear stuff in the street, okay? It's common for the type of person that Marsha was to rip somebody off. Like, it might be for a small amount. Maybe she might be out there trying to sell some dope for somebody, or she might be with a guy that spends a lot of money on her, for exchange for sex or something. And she might back out on a deal. So,
did she used to do that?
From what I understand.
Yeah. You know who she'd have any regulars?
Yeah, but see, the thing about it is, like, me and him talk. Same way with his sister Gwen. That's my problem. I don't know who they know. They know so many different people. See, they know so many. I don't know.
Somebody
said know anybody.
Yeah, somebody said to you right now, who did she fear? Who is she afraid of?
No one.
Come up with any name at all?
No. She was one of those persons out in the street. She knew what she was doing, and she just took life like, hey, matter of fact, she didn't show no fear to me about anybody. The last times I ever talked to her about anything, she was talking about she was getting ready to go for, she had indictments and stuff, and she said she knows she's going to go back to prison. She said she's ready to go. She said she just rolled with the punches. That's the only time. She's never shown any sign of fear of anybody.
Have you heard on the street who might have been responsible for this?
Nope. That's why I was surprised, that.
Well, how do you figure Floyd got off?
The only thing, and not just me, but I guess most people figure too, because everybody knows Floyd didn't mess with anybody.
Right.
The only thing I could even think about it is probably maybe Floyd saw something. Maybe somebody not knowing Floyd or something, might have did something to him, because Floyd, he wasn't type to mess with anybody. He wasn't into drugs enough. Right. All he did was drink.
Right.
And it was uncommon for him to be over in that area. Floyd, he always, right there in that area where he lived, that's where he walked.
Yeah. Did Marsha spend any time at Charlie's? She was going to the bar?
I don't know. I don't know. She probably did. She go in and out, because I used to go up there. I stopped going. I don't hang up there. But I don't think she was the type to hang in. She might go in there if she's looking for somebody or something like that.
Right. But she didn't hang up there.
No.
How about Floyd? He wasn't going there.
Go ahead. No.
It's too expensive.
Well, he didn't even. Floyd, I hadn't seen Floyd in the bar. I moved up here in '74, and I never known him to go in the bar. He always just stood out there drinking his wine right there on the corner.
Right.
That's about it as far as it. But like I told you, Gwen said that she would.
You figure, now let me ask you a question. Gwen and Marsha seem to be a lot alike. So tell me what Gwen knows.
I asked her, I said, Gwen, you was in the van with this guy, right? I said, did you see? I'm trying to at least establish the fact that we know where Willie was. I don't know what time Marsha got killed or nothing, but at least during the time, I said, well, you got out of that van about 3:30, Gwen, and Willie was there. So I said, did you tell the police at least that you saw him during that time? And the guy that you was in the van with, have him make a statement, because I don't know where Gwen went with the guy. Now, it's a possibility that Gwen could have went down to Marsha's with the guy. You see? Because her and Marsha were real good friends in the street, even though, him and her are brother and sister. But I know from people doing dope, they have a comradeship there that they would do dope together. See, so certain things she probably would not tell. I'm sure she wouldn't tell Willie if she was with Marsha smoking dope with somebody. He said, comradeship with the guy. You saw him during that time. And the guy, I don't know what time Marsha got killed or nothing, but at least during the time, I said, well, you was in the van. She would. You figure, now let me ask you a question. Gwen.
So he wasn't worried about Marsha being killed, but he was worried about where Willie Mincy was at around the time that she got killed. And apparently he was in some van with some Jerry guy at 3:30, but then he had to go home. I guarantee you, maybe to clean himself up. Maybe, he had shit all over him from an altercation. Maybe it wasn't a van that he was in. Maybe they're just saying it was a van, because he seems to be real concerned about where Willie Mincy was and what time Gwen saw him. I think that's a little odd. What do you know, Mr. Wallace?
And Marsha seem to be a lot alike. So tell me what Gwen knows.
I asked her, I said, Gwen, you was in the van with this guy, right? I said, did you see? I'm trying to at least establish the fact that we know where Willie was. I don't know what time Marsha got killed or nothing, but at least during the time, I said, well, you got out of that van about 3:30, Gwen, and Willie was there. So I said, did you tell the police at least that you saw him during that time? And the guy that you was in the van with, have him make a statement, because I don't know where Gwen went with the guy. Now, it's a possibility that Gwen could have went down to Marsha's with the guy. You see? Because her and Marsha were real good friends in the street, even though, him and her are brother and sister. But I know from people doing dope, they have a comradeship there that they would do dope together. See, so it's certain things she probably would not tell. I'm sure she wouldn't tell Willie if she was with Marsha smoking dope with somebody. You see what I'm talking about? So I don't know.
You think Gwen knows who did this?
Oh, no, hell no.
Why?
Because, let me see now. I'm trying to think now. That Wednesday. That happened on Wednesday. Me and Gwen got to arguing. I know she did because, well, I can't say I know. I know she didn't, because Gwen,
well, you got arrested before, and you got in the argument before.
At 8, yeah, you're right, at 8 something. Well,
See how his voice gets like, I know he did it. I know he did it. Like, it's real high. Just being a mother, to 4 children. Do you know when they're lying to me? Their voice gets high. I didn't do that. I didn't do that. Mom.
oh, no, hell no.
Why?
Because, let me see now. I'm trying to think now. That Wednesday. That happened on Wednesday. Me and Gwen got to arguing. I know she did because, well, I can't say I know. I know she didn't, because Gwen,
well, you got arrested before, and you got in the argument before.
At 8, yeah, you're right, at 8 something. Well,
you think anybody knows who did this?
I don't know. I haven't heard anybody talking. But I was sitting down trying to think of different people I might know that Marsha would be with, but like I told you, she got so many people that she knows.
Is Gwen outside here?
No, she's home. She said that she was going to get this guy Jerry that she was. I know his first name Jerry. He lives on 21st Street in that van.
Well, I need to talk to Gwen.
Well, I thought you guys talked to her this morning.
No, there's kids that run around, and she never indicated she wanted to talk to us.
Because she said that. Yeah. Because she said
she was just walking in when we were walking out.
Because she said this afternoon, I said, well, did you tell the detectives that you did see Willie about 3:30. And I said, and the guy that you was with in that van, I said, he couldn't even testify that he saw Willie sitting outside, you know. So,
No, Willie's not a suspect.
well, yeah, but you know, everybody's concerned now, you know, because like I said, I know he's been questioned.
Hold on. He just said Willie was in the van with the guy. Now he's saying that the guy saw Willie sitting outside. No. Now everybody's concerned. Everybody's concerned about Willie. Why are they concerned about Willie? Willie got a history of beating her up because that black eye and stuff is from Willie. And we're going to hear tomorrow from the person who tells us that.
And stuff, and I'm pretty sure he's in that van. I said, he couldn't even testify that he saw Willie sitting outside, you know. So,
no, Willie's not a suspect.
Well, yeah, but you know, everybody's concerned now, you know, because like I said, I know he's been questioning this stuff, and I'm pretty sure he's.
We're talking to people trying to figure out who knows something.
Well, like I said, Gwen hadn't said anything about seeing Marsha prior to whatever time she said. Do you know something?
I'm gonna. Here's the deal. I figured Gwen.
Whatever time she said. Do you know something?
I'm gonna.
You know something I don't?
Here's the deal. I figured Gwen, she knew she and Marsha were so tight, she would know who Marsha was having a problem with.
Not really. See, when I say tight, it's a dope thing, like smoking dope. You know,
that's what I'm talking about.
But if she thought Marsha was having a problem with somebody, Gwen would have said something. See, because Gwen, one thing about it, that's her brother.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever something really go down, it's like, for instance, if she would get mad with Marsha or anything, she would tell Willie anything that she know on Marsha. See, and if Marsha was scared of somebody, Gwen cares enough about Marsha too that she would have said something to somebody saying that she think Marsha's scared of somebody. I think she would. I'm pretty sure.
Well, maybe Gwen knows who she might have ripped off or who she was dealing with. We can, you know, we got to start narrowing this down.
Well, see, all that speculation, like that's what everybody's just saying. Well, maybe she ripped somebody off and all this. Don't nobody know.
That's right.
You know, don't nobody know.
We got to start somewhere.
And then it could have happened anyway. Yeah, just like she's the type of girl that could go out there and hook up with anybody, maybe in exchange for sex. It could have been anybody like that. You don't know.
Right.
So yeah, I didn't think a lot myself. You know.
Are you going back to Gwen's house?
Yeah, I'm driving Willie back down.
Why don't you have her call me as soon as you get back, right?
Okay, well, give me a card or something. So
make an appointment for her to come down and talk.
Because I'm pretty sure everybody out here, they haven't said anything about Marsha being scared of anybody for any reason.
Perhaps she should have been.
Probably something spontaneous is what I'm guessing.
Yeah.
That's why I tell Gwen that I'm concerned about her, you know, about her being out there.
Perhaps she should have been.
Probably something spontaneous is what I'm guessing.
Yeah.
That's why I tell Gwen that I'm concerned about her, you know, about her being out there in the street, you know, not knowing who she might be with or anything.
You know, if the person who did this did it once, they're going to do it again. We need to find out who this person is, right? Or people, more than one, obviously.
Because I know that whole family too. I'm concerned about it myself.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thanks.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Interview concluded. Time is 15:21 hours.
Willie Mincy's really concerned, and you know, I think it's really funny that he said, you know, everybody's really concerned about where Willie was at that night. Why? Why would everybody be so concerned about where Mr. Willie was at that night? And Mr. Willie was with Marsha. Apparently at 3:30, you know, Gwen saw Willie outside of Floyd Epps' house. Apparently he had to go home for some reason. And they went home, and by 4:20 a.m. he's back. I wonder if he had to go home and wash up. Yeah. And he has this focus on, you know, her hooking up with people. And that night, you know, Jeremiah Charlton told us that, you know, she turned a trick for him. Well, not for him, but to get crack from him. And that was about 12:30. I mean, that was about 11:30, 12. Willie Mincy runs into her White Boy Jet, and he went with White Boy Jeff. I remember that very clearly. Well, White Boy Jeff lived across the street. I wonder if that's where they hooked up. And then I wonder if that's where Willie Conrad saw her and then told Willie he saw her coming out of. And then they got into it about her, you know, and her behaviors. Guarantee he was more mad about the fact that she wasn't sharing the crack that she got, which is kind of my assumption. Then they got into it. Went to Mary Jane Gonzalez's looking for money to buy some more crack. She tried to sell some steaks. That didn't work. Went back to Willie's house, got back into it. She left. He followed. Just couldn't catch up. She went into the mysterious car that then didn't exist. But the last person with her was Willie Mincy. Italiano wants to focus on these New York guys. Yeah, I think he had the killer in front of him the whole time. And Herbert Wallace seems to be really, really concerned about the whereabouts of Willie Mincy. And, you know, trying to make sure they can pinpoint him. And I wonder what happened to the guy Jerry that lived on 21st Street in the van. I wonder, you know, he's not even mentioned in the police report. Very odd. Anyways, tomorrow we'll be back with another interview, and we got some really interesting things coming up. And stay focused, Lorain, and we will see you soon. Thank you for joining me today on Mean Street. I hope you enjoyed the show. I would greatly appreciate it if you would consider supporting our work and supporting my effort. You can support directly underneath at the Spotify donations, or you can directly give a donation at paypal.me/Mean Street, Ohio. Any donation received will help me continue to provide news to you and everyone else across Ohio and beyond. I love what I do, and I just hope to continue to do it. Thank you so much, and you have a wonderful day. Thank you for joining me today on